See, Murat, I'm not that evil.
Those who cannot accept change cannot belongs future. Come on.
Tara, welcome to our show. In one of our conversations, you told me that one of your dreams was to be in a podcast or record a podcast. Can we consider this as like achieving one of your dreams?
Yeah, one of my dreams. Well, actually, like my dream was to have my own, but this could do for now. This is an introduction, so like I guess you could say that.
This is a milestone for you to reach your ultimate goal.
Yeah. We could say that.
Perfect joke. Congratulations.
Just to be a guest in a Turkish podcast show.
Yeah.
Cool. We start cool.
Yeah, this sounded like it was so weird when Afet told me that this will happen. Like I was so nervous, and like right now it's like chatting. But the thing is, with me, if I would have a podcast, the thing is like I don't have a partner who has balls to be heard from a lot of
listeners. You mean?
Yeah. So.
But I think this is the last place you need to be nervous, I believe, because there is no any rule, there is no any restriction. It's the last place you need to be nervous.
I mean, I don't have that problem. I don't have a problem with public speaking or public anything.
Public anything.
Okay. Well, I would say like
okay,
yeah, but
I'm not talking that. Okay, fine. Who cares?
Well, Efe knows what I'm doing, so like.
Yeah.
I don't know your public life.
Efe also knows.
Yeah. See, like I.
All right, there's a misunderstanding here. I don't know what she does in her own private time publicly, but I know what she does publicly as a job.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Yeah, that was the one I was referring to, but...
Cool, be cool. No one was talking about your private time. We just talk about the public or normal things, but Efe thought we are talking about your private time. Why? Come on. Okay, I'm not willing to get involved these issues. You know, I don't care. I don't give a fucking shit. Let's keep doing. All right, welcome back. It's really a pleasure to have you here. I believe we are going to enjoy. What's wrong, Efe?
Nothing. I just want you to continue, please. Well, this episode is actually about you, so let's begin to get to know you and our listeners to get to know you. And just imagine this episode specifically will not be only listened in Turkey, but this will be listened in a lot of countries.
Oh yeah, good point. A lot of countries, cool.
So imagine that you're speaking to all the people in Europe at the moment.
Oh God. There's a pressure.
We are getting many questions about you right now from India, from Norway. There are a lot of questions about you. People really curious about your life and about this podcast.
Oh yeah. So the first question is, who are you? And why are you here?
Yeah, what's first?
Okay, well, I'm here because I've been invited to join, and maybe
Beautiful.
Because my friend wanted to make some of my wishes come true. I don't know. Yeah, but I'm Tara. I'm a dancer. And currently not. At the moment, no. At the moment, I'm literally unemployed and trying to find a sense of in what I'm doing every day, but...
Well, we shouldn't count the moment, because at the moment nobody is anything. So let's talk about what is what in general. And yes, in general, you're a dancer.
Yeah.
And you were dancing in many theaters in Belgrade, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I was dancing in a musical theater here in Belgrade, which is actually one of, I think it's the only one in Balkan. I think.
What kind of dance you do in your musical theater? Do you also sing or just dance?
Yeah, well, in theory, we should be able to do both, but mostly we're just dancing. There was one show in which I was dancing and singing just a little bit, but it's usually just me dancing.
You're supposed to do both of them sometimes, singing and dancing at the same time even.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Well, yeah, as far as I know, I can. It is difficult, but like I haven't been singing for a long time actually, because we don't have regular practices for that.
Tara, I have been to a lot of your shows, but I have never heard you singing. Are you lying right now?
What? You heard me singing. You heard me singing.
Where?
Not in the theater, but like you heard me singing.
Where? Ah, in the studio. Yeah, you tried to sing Shape of My Heart.
That was very don't. You're
It is a third
embarrassing
song I
me.
know in English.
You're embarrassing me right now. That's not fair.
So you're a dancer, a really successful one, as far as we can see from your
As
shows.
far as you know, I'm very successful.
Yeah, and probably the people that are going to listen to this in Serbia, your friends or the people that know you. But apart from that, what do you study? What do you do?
Oh God. Well, I was studying pedagogy here in Serbia. It's like social studies and educational studies and psychological studies mashed into one. So that I have bachelor's in that, and right now I want to continue to do my master's. But currently, I was trying to be in a dance field just a little bit, just in a dance field, but that did not work very well for me because this shit happened. Well, this happened. So I had a few months. I had a few months to do dancing, like until the end of this year. That was cool, actually. But yeah, then this thing happened, and I had to reconsider what I'm doing right now. But that's okay, I guess.
Supposedly.
Then I'm asking the main question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
That is the worst question you could ask me.
Latest question ever.
But so I have to. Can I be like completely honest?
You can be completely honest, you can lie to us, you can make jokes, or you can be a total asshole. It's up to you.
Which you already did.
Yeah, well, in 5 years, I will be like I don't know. I will be married, rich, and have I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 kids, and I will be do some charity work.
So you're going to be a cougar.
Fuck you.
It's only option.
The thing is, I would just like to do good deeds, and I would just like want to volunteer for the rest of my life, but that's not option. So like I have to figure out how to get there. But like no, seriously. So this was the lying part. I don't see myself married in 5 years. That's.
I didn't think so as well. Yeah.
I mean, who knows? The thing is, the answer is I take day by day. I don't make big plans because usually stuff just happen to me, and like so I'm going with the flow. Even though I hate that quote, but that's kind of my lifestyle.
Why do you hate the quote? Because of the song?
No. The thing is, actually, I heard, I was listening to a podcast, but with girls. So these were like girls bashing on boys. And it was like they were talking about how they hate that when guys like, oh, I'm chill, let's take it slow, let's go with the flow. And usually that means this is not going anywhere. And so she said, don't say that for me, like go with the flow, it's for like that fish or something like that. Really bad joke.
Okay.
I don't know.
We should put a music here.
Definitely.
Dramatic one.
Tell me the top 3 songs of the last Strokes album that you liked.
Okay, my top 3.
But from the last album.
Okay, The Adults Are Talking.
Yes.
Internal Summer, and maybe I'm a basic bitch. Am I?
No, because like I have 3 songs in my mind from the last album, and you just counted 2 of them. Lovely.
And Bad Decisions, but that's
Bad Decisions.
yeah. That's
Aw.
the number 1.
Oh, that's the number 1
Yeah.
for you. Okay, now you broke my heart.
Oh well, like,
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Nice. You have accomplished 2 out of 3 songs, so a big round of applause for you.
Thank you for
But-
coming. Thank you for coming. Tara.
Okay, bye. Okay, so when you graduated, you were telling me that you want to work with kids when it comes to psychology and everything. And are you still after that, or did you change your mind?
No, I'm still there. Not exactly sure what. I'm still like thinking about it, but yeah, it's definitely involving like a younger generation, which I want to have an impact on.
But does it worth it? Because the new generation is such a fucking, how to say, spoiled little brats, don't you think?
Okay, I'm not allowed to answer this. It won't be professional.
Efe, alright, the question, should new generation die?
New generations are hard to deal with. I admit that.
Mhm.
I mean, it's not their fault. It's all everything that's happening around them. So, like, I guess we're all can be influenced by a lot of things when we're younger, and
Exactly.
But we were lucky, maybe. So
I suppose so, yeah. We were lucky, but I think every generation has a saying like this, like, oh, we were the lucky ones, the new generation sucks.
Yeah, it's always
yeah.
the case. It's always the case.
So, do you think that the problem when we talk about the new generation in a bad way, the problem is that we are not capable of understanding them, or there's nothing to be understood of? What do you think?
Okay. Well, I think it's mostly that year gap that is always the case. So, like, you could try to understand, but you would have to listen and talk to the person, and maybe
It's for all
there's always a
relationships.
room for understanding.
Exactly. It's always the case. It's rule for all kind of relationships. If we are talking about the older and younger, just listen. But the thing, if it claims, I think he doesn't represent any our generation. But I believe I don't agree with you, because it's not such a difficult to understand and to get communication with the younger people or new generation, because it's all about to just try to understand what's their condition. As you mentioned, who you are doesn't exactly under your control,
Okay.
but it's also a little bit under your control. It's a little bit conflict. You can improve yourself. You maybe don't do anything yourself to improve yourself, to develop yourself. It's your fault. You're capable of do that. But on the other hand, you are just, it depends where you live, where you grow up, what kind of people you have family in your family. It's all circumstances creates your personality, individual life, social life. It's all dynamics important. That's why it doesn't make sense to claim it's not possible to get communicate with the new generation. What the fuck? It's your fault. If you're stupid, I don't care. If you're talking about Efe represent anything. You know.
If it represents evil in this conversation, then okay.
Maybe not even evil. I like evil. You know. Anyway, that's what I'm saying. Please keep going.
No, you explained that amazingly. Like you're a professional. So I don't want to add anything. That's
No, I'm not.
For the first time ever, I hear that somebody calls Murat that he's a professional in something.
Efe, you're funny.
No, that's good. Like,
Thank you, Tara.
that's really good.
Yeah,
Welcome.
actually, he said something really, really nice. But the only problem with what he said is it's too generic. I'm gonna combine what both of you said. Yes, we should talk with the new generation to understand them, But it's not about talking only. I think there is a different approach to the communication between those people from the new generation.
Of course there are.
But
Of course there are.
I think we have to solve what is it first. How to approach those people, how to communicate.
No, the thing is, like, we have such a different experiences. So, like,
Of course.
I think that's the main thing when it comes to understanding. Like, you can try to do one same exact thing and you will approach it differently because your experience is different. So, like, there's no correct answer in understanding a younger or older generation, or like any generation that it's not your own, besides that you try to empathize with them and think, why are they how they are? That's,
Yes.
if that makes sense.
It does make sense. And I just read a tweet yesterday, I think. Someone was saying how the new generation is spoiled and they're like such a little brats. And somebody answered to that person and said, of course they are, because they have been born in a time where everything is abundant, first and foremost. 2, everything is so easy. And 3, everything is provided for. So, of course, they will want more. Like your generation wants more, the previous generation always wanted more, and those people want something more as well. But what they want is maybe too much for us, but not for them. So maybe that's the main difference between generations. The time, as you said, the time that we are born, and at the same time, the things that we can reach ourselves to. And the new generation has been born in such a great time, in such a golden age of humanity, where everything is so easy to get and the connection, the communication is so easy to achieve. They had internet when they were born, like our generation didn't, but they had. And maybe them asking for more is normal, even though we think that it's not very normal, but it's too much. But we should be able to understand that first, like we should start with that. Understanding what they want as more.
Yeah. I mean, you should put yourself in their place and see. And you did that. You just did that, and that's great.
See, Murat, I'm not that evil.
At this point, I want to ask you a last question to switch the subject. Your parents had challenge to understand you, as you can imagine, because there is a generation difference. But you're going to have a baby, you're going to have kids, you're going to have a kind of same challenge by communication with your kids. And what do you think? Did your parents have much more challenge than you're going to have? Do you believe that?
Well, I don't know. I guess it's the same difficult, like it's difficult for everyone in its own, in a different way. I mean, I guess I can see how it will be easier for me. It's the same struggle with like parents understanding kids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
By the way, at the beginning, you were talking about you're going to have a few kids in the future, in 5 years. Are you very serious, by the way? I don't know you. You may be serious. Who knows?
Probably not.
Oh God.
You're not serious? You're not willing to be...
I want to be a parent. You said I could lie, so
you're a liar. All right.
I don't know it will that be the case. But I would like to have children.
Yeah, perfect. By the way, if you don't mind, can I ask you how old you are?
yes, 23, but I look like I'm 15. So. So probably if you were like talking to me in person, you wouldn't believe me that I'm 23. So like.
All right.
I still don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Me neither. It depends on the situation and the place. That's the truth.
Perfect. All right, so for the next topic, when we were talking, Tara, you told me a story about someone that was having some relationship, not problems, but like difference. I think at some point in the conversation, we went into polygamy and monogamy.
Okay, that's an interesting.
Yeah, we had an interesting conversation about that, but I want to talk this one through.
I'm just interested in new relationship constructions that are just being a thing and being seen like as a new normal. And I'm just always interested to understand how and why are people choosing something. And maybe it's not for me, but I'm just always curious. I'm always want to hear like other people's opinions, so I want to actually know what you guys think about that as well.
Thinking about polygamy and monogamy, you mean?
Well, we were actually talking about open relationships thing more than polygamy.
Yeah, I think that's the correct term. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Because it's not the same thing, like, because polygamy should be like a existing social construction, and it means that you have like multiple partners. It's hard to define correctly, like those all sorts of types of open relationships.
Can I ask a question about it? Is it all about the sexual or physical thing? For example, I mean, we are talking about the people should love more than one, or just we are talking about the physical, the having sex with different people.
Yeah, but that's why that is actually my question. Like, my question is like, where is the urge to have multiple partners? Like that is actually my question. I don't know the answer to that.
All right.
My question is like, why does someone want to have like more than just a one partner? Like, no pros and cons. I just want to understand it. Like, I don't know the mindset of a person who wants to do that. I'm not judging. I just don't know the answer to that.
Yeah. Same. It's not for us to judge, but we can discuss about that. I have a theory in my mind which might not be true at all, but at the same time, I think it comes from urges that we are virtually acquiring, such as we are a consumerist society where we start to consume not only tangible things but intangible things as well, such as feelings. Or you probably had a time where you loved a song a lot, but when you listened to it a lot you got bored of it and you stopped listening to it, which means that you consumed the song itself. So it comes from the same, let's say, urge to change the status quo that you have at the moment in your life. You are together with one person, let's say a relationship where feelings are involved, physicalities are involved, sexual relationship is involved, everything is out there. But a typical consumerist society would eventually get bored of it and look for something new, because we have a lot of options available right now.
So is this discussion coming from evolution or social life? Because social life happen when people come around, but evolution, is this discussion coming from evolution or the social life, which is created by people?
I think both is involved at the same time.
Yeah, but you were I don't know where you were getting with your story, but the thing is, like, when you get in like some usual scenario when that happens in a relationship, people usually, like monogamists, just break up with the person and try to find another person, or they're cheating on the person.
Oh yeah.
And in which case, like, I guess I would say those open relationships, as we would call them, exist because in them, like, you have some kind of deal with your partner, so it's not cheating. It's just. But I don't know if that's the answer to you, Murat. I don't know if it's I guess it's more a sexual thing than an emotional thing. I don't know, but I'm guessing.
It doesn't have to be only sexual, I think, or it doesn't have to be only emotional or physical, let's say, because physicality can mean a lot of things rather than sex only. But I was coming to there. I'm just trying to deconstructionalize the problem itself, where, like, as you asked, like, where the urge to do this comes from. After we consume each other, maybe, or let's say a hypothetical relationship, two partners, a gay partner or a straight partner, doesn't matter. Those people consume each other, and after that, probably there's just two different ways for them to understand or make a deal with each other. They either, as you said, break up, Or if they don't really mind, they don't part their ways, but they can have some fun on the side.
It's not easy to explain it with fun at all.
It's not. It's probably depending on the person itself. But I had some examples in my personal environment where some people having polygamistic relationship because of the distance or because of their youth, and they want to experience different people and different things, but they still love each other and they don't want to part their ways. So they just allow each other to experience different people.
So my question is, like, do you have to, as a person, have a certain opinion of it? Because I can't see how, like, let's say a jealous person would agree to that. I mean, it's weird because there are some older social constructions that this is just weird, and I don't know.
Well, when you think about it, in wildlife, there are some animals that mate for life, and there are some animals that they don't mate at all. They just have an intercourse at that time to have babies, and the father walks away, and whatever happens, happens. And then the partners are changing constantly.
But like, you're talking about animals here. Like, we're humans. We should be...
I'm only talking about instincts. I'm not talking about the difference between or similarities between animals and humans. But
We are kind of animal.
So can I ask this, both of you? Do you think we're naturally, our instincts are more towards being with the one person or with the multiple people?
I think multiple people.
That is more natural to you? Because I heard theories, and just like, I want to hear an opinion.
Yeah, what do you think, Murat?
I want to keep it safe nowadays, especially.
Yeah, I understand why.
I believe and I agree with both of you guys.
Can I ask you something?
Yes.
As a girl here, or
Yes,
a woman,
please.
or whatever. I read a quote today, actually, and so, don't tell me that my sexuality is the most powerful thing about me, and then try to shame me when I try to use it. So the thing is, it's about, and I really have a problem with this. I mean, not like me personally, but in general, like for all women. Why are we not able to be ourselves and do or wear what we want, and not calling some bad things on us, if you understand what I mean?
So basically you're asking, why can't women show their femaleness, womanness, without being called a
Sluts,
Yeah.
or yeah.
Well, I think calling someone a slut just because they are acting like however they want is a primitive thing, and it comes from jealousy. So I'm not a person to answer this because I don't think it that way at all. But maybe Murat has an idea.
No, actually, I'm not. But I believe it's not all about the jealous. But it's the social life
Norms.
social norms, all of the social norms, and all different kind of nationalities have different answer about it. But if
True.
you ask about my opinion, don't.
Well, okay, so let's answer, what do we call a slut? Personally, if I want to call someone a slut,
You don't do that. First and foremost, you don't do that.
I don't do that. But if I'm doing that, like in between friends and shit, I would tell someone that she or he is a slut because that person is not faithful and that person is a liar, and that's it.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, I think it shouldn't be based on a like physical appearance.
Not at
because
all. Not at all.
In today's time, like, we're all should be able to express who we are through our appearance, and that
course.
was just the thing. So
Oh, all right. We can agree on this one though. Like, there are a lot of people, like, it doesn't really specify to one gender.
Yeah.
But they are using their sexuality as a commodity.
okay,
But yet again, it's not up to us to tell them what not to do
That's my point. Yeah.
or to
like,
shame
why
them.
would-
Like, it's not up to us.
if you're not personally offended by it, I mean, and why would you be offended with someone's appearance like that? That's just stupid.
I mean, if I'm going to be offended by someone's appearance, probably I would be offended if somebody has, I don't know, a swastika tattoo
Yeah.
or something that bashes my cultural rights or nationality or something. Okay, then I would be offended. But I still wouldn't call that person a slut. Like, I would call that person an idiot. But
It's better.
yeah, but expressing your own thoughts and how you like yourself as an appearance, just like you said, should not be shamed at all. Like, zero.
Okay, it's cool. I'm happy with your answers, actually.
All right.
Well, I think the majority of people that consider themselves as a progressive or a smart person has the same opinion. So maybe that's a bit of a minority in Serbia as much as in Turkey. I'm not sure, but all the people I got to know in Serbia are like smart people. But Tara, only you know in this conversation the real face of Serbia.
Yeah.
So
That's true. That's true.
I have no idea.
Actually,
Sorry.
I was talking about with my friends the other day, and they told me they think the majority of Serbs are actually quite traditional, which that wasn't my opinion. But then when I think about it, maybe that is the case, because I live in Belgrade, and if we ask Efe, that is the most wonderful place in Earth. I'm kidding, but seriously, like, that is not it's just a small part of Serbia, and out of Belgrade, like, most families are just traditional. So yeah, actually that makes sense. So, like, I don't, the people who I am surrounded with, and like people who I want to be surrounded with, are open-minded and can see a bigger picture and wider picture. But I don't think like the all Serbs are like that, and the majority of them are like that. Especially, like, I don't want to say especially guys.
Many
but
people start the sentence like, people do that, people don't that, oh, this kind of people, oh, this kind of people. But if we are talking about many people can start the sentence with the people by comply with, who are you? You know, what are you? What are you? All people say all this kind of people, all this kind of people.
Right.
No one can get include themselves into this kind of people.
We have to look at the mirror first to see if we are capable or if we are allowed to criticize other people for what they are. But at the same time, I want to agree with Tara as well, because in geographies like ours, like the Balkans, the traditional lifestyle is not yet a myth.
and I'm not so sorry, but like, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that I was just saying that as a fact. Nor do I think it's it's wrong or bad or something like that. It's just like.
But I can say, I mean, I want to say that traditionalism is kind of bad, because I mean, I met a lot of people that are traditional in Turkey, yes, back in the days, but I also met a lot of traditional people in Serbia as well, where they kind of made my life a bit harder there. But I'm just gonna give one example about how traditionalism is so similar in any nation without the language barrier or the religious barrier.
Okay.
I heard from one of my friends that someone in Belgrade are going to church every Sunday and praying to the God. They are having some ceremonies. I don't know how to say this, but they are doing this to keep Corona away. So
Really?
this happens in Serbia, but this happens in Turkey as well. In the mosques.
Yeah, I do that. It works.
People are just praying the Corona away, and this is just fucking madness. But this comes from traditionalism. This doesn't come from the local values, or this doesn't come from the religion itself. This comes from traditionalism. And traditionalism is the same mindset in every Balkan country that I can see. In Turkey, in Greece, in Bulgaria, in Serbia, Montenegro, Bosnia especially, wherever.
So, like, you don't think it's a matter of a faith and religion? You think it's a matter of being traditional?
Yes, exactly.
But I'm not sure if I understand how you look to traditionalism. What's your traditionalism definition?
Traditionalism is, let's say, a taboo, a stigma, where there are some rules that are taught to you to obey and to contain yourself, not to think freely, and you follow a certain amount of rules, cultural norms that you cannot question at the end of the day. You just have to obey it. You cannot question it.
If you say traditionalism is all about cultural, mainly cultural, but it's supposed to change to country, you know?
It doesn't actually. I'm not saying traditionalism comes from culture. I'm saying culture actually comes from traditionalism. But the traditionalism that we are talking about in this topic is, for example, if an imam in a mosque calls one of a fellow follower, let's say, calls to the mosque to pray the corona away.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to follow that. But this is also happening in Serbia as well. But our languages are different, our beliefs are different, our religion is different, but the tradition stays the same. So probably the traditions are defining culture, and traditions are the main topic, and culture is a subtopic.
But the thing, your example is really specific, which is religion.
Kinda is, yeah.
Yeah, it's very specific.
So you have another example to explain that?
Yes, there are a lot of wife beaters in Serbia as much as in Turkey. The people that are physically abusing women.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Anyway, all right.
Not sure about the numbers in Turkey or Serbia?
No, I'm really sure about that point, but I'm not sure about if it's coming from the traditionalism or not, because wrong things come from people, and people don't come from tradition. Tradition come from the people. That's why it's better to explain all these things about the people, not traditionalism, because traditionalism created by the people behavior. The first phase is people, not traditionalism, I believe.
You're right, but I'm not saying that traditionalism is a bad thing, but it can lead to bad things if it's not under control. Like, for example, when I'm talking about wife beaters, it's not only in Serbia or Turkey. Let's say the superpower of the world, the first economy, the most technologically advanced country ever, the United States of America. And there are a lot of fucking wife beaters in that country as well. The only common thing between those people and the ones that are in other countries is traditionalism.
So you're saying all over the world has same tradition, just they apply in the different ways.
They don't have the same tradition, but they have a mindset of traditionalism itself, where you don't question the rules, where you don't change the rules, but you obey them without any resistance, and you usually tend to use it for your own good when you do something bad. For example, beating women.
I think maybe what we can take from out of this conversation that Efe mostly had is that is the most important thing today. I mean, for everyone is to be able to understand that like
what is it?
What is happening?
Oh yeah, I'm in the balcony because it's kind of hot, but there's some stupid motorcycle driver that is doing some noises.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm not farting, by the way. It's not me.
Wow, funny, cool.
Oh god.
Yeah, please continue, Ty.
So, after you fire on me, no, thank you. It's I love it.
Kepazelik ya.
Gerçekten.
Ya böyle hayal etmedim.
Oh god. No, I will continue. I just think like the most important thing is to understand that everything is changing so quickly and the change is good, and that's my point. And that's what I think. We have to accept change. It doesn't have to be good necessarily, but like we have to accept it and embrace it. And standing in place, it's just, I think that's a bad thing.
All right, I wanna say about this: those who cannot accept change cannot belong future. Come on.
No. It's just much harder for them to understand, like the world.
All right, I got your point.
It is, but it's their own fault. That's my personal opinion.
No, definitely. I did not say that there is no place for them. It's much more difficult to participate in society if you're not choosing to think about life and what's going on around you.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Tara,
Yes.
thank you for coming.
Oh,
Really?
you're very welcome.
Yeah, I think we're getting close to the ending of this podcast. But yes, this has been a really, really different episode.
Yeah, I enjoyed. I didn't expect it, to be honest. I didn't expect to enjoy that much, but I enjoyed. Thank you so much for coming.
Well, thank you. Like, it was very fun for me, and thanks for having me. And this was actually a lot of fun.
We are so happy that you came to this podcast.
Thank you, Tara. Real nice to meet you. It's a pleasure.
You too. So, and thank you for having me. I had so much fun.
And there's something that we tell everyone that is a guest in our podcast, that you can always come back whenever you want.
Yeah. You are always welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Bye bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.